Breastfeeding is another thing that we don't usually talk about enough, especially the struggles that come with breastfeeding. And just when I thought I had seen it all, boom, a lump in my breast. You know that saying that no two babies are the same? It's actually real. When I had my first child, I had a cesarean section, and while I was being wheeled away from the theater, I just had breast milk pouring all over the place. So the nurses had to rush my baby to my boobs for me to nurse. I felt that all breastfeeding journeys were just like that. I didn't really envisage that having my next baby, things would be different. The second time on, I had no lactation after delivery, and in addition to that, my baby couldn't latch properly, so we struggled with latching and we struggled with poor lactation for a couple of days. And then when the breast milk finally came, I started battling with breast engorgement. The breast was so engorged and it was really painful. And just when I thought I had seen it all, boom, a lump in my breast. And you know, when we hear lump in the breast, the first thing that usually comes to our mind is cancer. So when I felt that first lump at first, I was like, oh my god, could this be cancer? And I went in for a physical examination immediately, and then the doctor was like, okay, this is probably galactosel. However, you go for a scan, which I did a few days later. Am I the only one who did not know that there's such a thing called breast abscess? When I asked what caused it, they said, well, it could have been caused by, my baby's inability to latch properly, and also perhaps injury caused by the breast pump I was using, because then I was big on breast pumping because painful latching was something that I couldn't bear. That was what I had, and I had to take medication for it. So there's a whole lot that could come up when a woman gives birth. Whenever a woman puts to bed or at the hospital, they'll tell you things like, oh yeah, after 6 weeks you're safe to resume sexual activities with your spouse or with your partner. Or is this really the case? Yeah, I know that there are a lot of women out there who wouldn't mind becoming sexually active almost immediately, but for the majority, I do not really think that is the case. I think the women here would agree with me that sex is more mental than we want to admit it is. And for a woman who is battling through a lot of emotional instability, hormonal changes, in some cases postpartum depression, sex isn't something that they find pleasurable at the initial stage. And because society has given women this impression that, you know what, you have to be strong, you are a mother. When you give birth, you don't need to be weak. We find out that a lot of women are afraid to speak out and actually say how they feel. I personally am among those women because there are a lot of times where I feel so overwhelmed, so pressured, that I just lock myself in the bathtub and I'm crying. And I feel like crying is also part of healing. And if you're in a similar situation and you feel like you have so much emotions bottled in, I think it's just okay to cry. Let it out. If you need to scream, you need to shout, just don't hold it in, because the more you're holding it in, the more pressure you are building for your body, and it's not even good for your mental health. We women are so fixated on just having a baby or just having kids. We say things like, oh, I want a baby girl, I want a baby boy, so I can twin with, and I can do this and yada yada yada. Don't get me wrong, children are a blessing. There are times where you're going to be feeling so down and you just look at your kids and it just brighten up your day. For having kids and raising kids are two different things. So showing up as a mother with no help is one of those sure recipes for constant exhaustion. So best believe it when they tell you that it takes a village to raise children. When people talk about postpartum, we've been told that it will take about 2 years for a woman's body and her hormones to go back to normal, and it will take a woman about 2 years to get back to her usual self and stuff like that. But how come nobody is talking about the fact that after childbirth, It is a lifelong commitment. Motherhood, raising kids, it's a lifelong commitment. And even when those kids are grown, girl, they're still going to be calling their mom. The fact that our bodies do not automatically bounce back after childbirth came as a huge shock for me the first time I had my baby. I was a size 12 before marriage and childbirth and all of that drama. And when I was packing my delivery bag, I somehow felt that the moment you give birth to your baby, the whole baby bump will just automatically disappear. So I packed my size 12 wraparound dress as my going home outfit. After delivery on the set date, I don't know what I was thinking anyways. Maybe I wasn't, seeing myself in the mirror. I don't know, but I now tried putting on that dress and everybody burst out laughing because the dress wouldn't even go around my tummy. It was so hilarious. Everybody was laughing, and for me that was like the very first shock because
what do you mean I'm not going to have my old body back?
I'm not saying that it's not possible to get back in shape, but the real truth is that it is not an automatic process, and it's not every woman that has that type of body that will snap back almost immediately. The thing is, we've been taught to perceive women in a certain light. Woman looks beautiful when she has a figure eight, a banging body, curvy hips, slim waist, and all of that. But that is a huge lie. Every woman is beautiful. You just need to find what works for you and discover that fashion style that works for you. One of the hard truths for a lot of women when they get into the postpartum phase is letting go of their old self and embracing the new. So for me, I held on to clothes that were obviously not going to size me even in the next 10 years. I kept holding on to them, having this false hope and false belief that I'm going to one day get back to that size when I start exercising, start dieting, and all of that. But you know what? After having my second baby, even my back size expanded.
My hips have enlarged, my waist has enlarged.
When I finally accepted that this is the phase that I am in right now, and I need to let go of the old so that I can embrace the new. And so early this year, I took the initiative to declutter my wardrobe. Yeah, I finally had to let go of all those clothes that were obviously no longer my size, so I could give room for the many women. Their fashion style evolves with the number of children they have. When you were still single, before you had kids or before you got married, perhaps you used to love wearing skimpy things. But then you now later see that your body has evolved, your body has recreated another human being. As a result, we see ourselves transitioning to, some of us like we begin to wear wide leg pants, for example. That's trousers with wide leg. Motherhood will just drastically change your fashion IQ, if there's any such thing. I don't know. Another aspect of postpartum that we don't really talk about is the fact that you're definitely going to make career changes that have to, moving forward, accommodate your children or accommodate your baby. So this is where you see some moms will tell you, oh, they can't meet up because of the demand of raising kids. And so you see a lot of women who would resign from their 9 to 5 jobs. You see women who will rather choose a part-time role at a job than a full-time. You see more and more women embracing remote work opportunities, and in some cases, just going on a break entirely and just being a stay at home mom. Because let me tell you one thing, yeah, motherhood is a full time job with no pay. Best thing to do is to embrace it, embrace your motherhood journey because it is now a part of you. So, welcome those changes. Sometimes you might have to resign from a certain kind of job and take on a new job that will give you more time for your kids, give you more time for your family, and you don't have to feel guilty about it. Even if you're feeling bad, feeling sad, feeling unhappy and uneasy about certain changes you have to make, that is perfectly normal and it is perfectly okay. And there's nobody that has it all figured out. We're all learning on the job. So if you ever feel the need to go on a 10-minute walk or take yourself out, if you have access to help, like say family, friends, siblings that you can safely entrust your kids to, don't be shy to ask for help. They will gladly even help you with the kids. So when planning for a baby, while you're talking about buying baby essentials, also make it a point to talk about some of these career changes, some of these huge changes that you have to make, especially as a new mom. Talk about whether or not your partner and yourself will be getting a nanny, and talk about the transitions you have to be making in your business, in your career, in your 9 to 5 job, even with your goals and ambition. Create a realistic time frame, and you don't have to put yourself under so much pressure. My baby was living in camera with me because she's just so clingy. Anyway, let's put our hands together for a little guest who has just joined us on today's episode. You experience certain changes with your sleeping patterns. You have to adjust. Your baby will have to also adjust. You will be taking care of a newborn, and these newborns, sometimes newborns do not sleep at night. So obviously your sleeping routine will definitely change. That is why if you're a pregnant mama watching this video and you have the opportunity to sleep, girl, take this advice from me. Do not let anybody guilt trip you into thinking that you are sleeping too much because you're in your third trimester or second trimester. If you can please all through, please sleep, because when these babies are born,
Just say goodbye to your old sleeping pattern.
because it is going to change. And I'm not just talking about the initial newborn stage. I'm talking for when these kids start going to school. You have to wake up earlier. You're going to prep, meal prep. You're going to. There's just so much to do. There's laundry, there's homework. They're going to be responsible for their academic well-being, their social well-being, moral aspect. You're going to have to raise morally sound kids. So it is a whole lot having children. So when you're just fixated on, oh, I want a baby girl, I want someone I can wear cute matching outfits with, please be prepared for the messier aspects of motherhood, because there will be days where you'll be unable to have your bath for the entire day. There are even days where in my early postpartum days, I went like a whole day without having a shower or having a bath, because there was really no time. And the only little time where you feel like, oh, I want to rest, that's when the baby will decide to wake up. My baby has a thing for hair. I don't know why. Since she was born, she just loves hair. Hair. So that's it. These kids will be all over your face, asking you questions, talking and talking and seeking attention from you 24/7. So be prepared. Don't let it take you unawares. So these are some of the things that women are facing postpartum. We have body changes, job changes, issues that come up with lactation after birth that we don't envisage. There are some of us, recovery is slower than it ought to be. There's so much, and society makes it look like you need to bounce back quickly. And in a situation where a woman is unable to bounce back almost immediately, she starts feeling bad about herself. So before you say you want to have your next baby, listen to me. Are you really ready? Because this thing called motherhood, this thing called postpartum, is a lifelong commitment that will drastically change the trajectory of your life. Now, is it a blessing? Yes, by all means, it's a blessing. And is it overwhelming? Yes, multiple times. It is so overwhelming. Is it stressful? Yes, it's going to be stressful. Yes, it's going to be challenging. Yes, it is not always going to be easy. But at the end of the day, is it worth it? That's up to you to answer because everybody's situation is different from the next person. So that is it, guys, on today's episode. I have tried my best to make sure that I keep showing up regardless of my situation. You're going to be seeing me doing more of this kind of vlogs from my home, with or without the kids, because I mean that is what motherhood is all about. So if you watch this video so far, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends, share with that mama that needs some words of encouragement. Look, postpartum, especially when kids are young, it is just a phase, and it is best that we enjoy each phase as it comes, because if you're looking on to, oh, okay, when my kids are older, I'll take a breather. When the kids get older, there's still another battle you will face. So just enjoy each moment as it comes. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Mwah. Bye for now. Guys, you see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? There's no me time. Why are you eating my dress? I gave you your toy. There's no light. So stop here and I'm sweating.